Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a movie review of Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. Now my boyfriend and I won tickets to go see this at the Melbourne International Film Festival. I won it for a Facebook competition and I was really excited because I love the book and I couldn't wait to see the movie. However, I couldn't find it in any theatres playing near me. So when we won the tickets, it was really great. So we made a date of it, went to go see the movie, and we both really enjoyed it. My partner was expecting to hate it. He doesn't really like movies and he especially doesn't really like the movies that I make him go see. So that's already a good sign. So the movie, if you do not know, is based off the book Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jesse Andrews, who actually also wrote the screenplay of the movie, which is really interesting. And it follows a boy named Greg who is forced to hang out and befriend a girl named Rachel who is dying. She has cancer and he doesn't really take to that well. Greg doesn't want to be friends with a dying girl. He's already got his life sorted out and he doesn't really want to be friends with anyone, to be honest. His friend Earl, who he calls his co-worker because they make films together, you can't even admit that he's friends with him. Like, Greg is a very shut off kind of person. The book was hilarious and so I was hoping the movie was going to be too, and it did not disappoint. For the most part, it left a lot of the humour in. However, the book can be very vulgar at times. That's why some people don't like the book. They find the humour a little bit too out there. And the movie went a little bit out there, but it definitely didn't go to the extreme like the book did. If the joke was a bit too risque, the movie kind of left it out. I could totally see why they did that. However, I think it had still the right amount of humour to make the film what it is. It's a comedy. So let's talk about what I liked about the movie. I liked the humour, obviously. I liked the acting and how the characters were portrayed. I thought all the actors were fantastic in the characters that they portrayed and they really felt real. Like Greg in the movie felt like the same person and I really enjoyed that. I liked how they took of the story and ran with it a little bit. They changed it in a little bit of places and I could totally see why they did that. I'll get into how they changed it after, but it'll be spoilery section for both the movie and the book. So if you haven't read the book and seen the movie, I wouldn't recommend watching that part of this review. The changes that they made, however, were still faithful to the book and still fit in with the story, and they just worked well for a movie setting for the book. You know how sometimes things in books don't really translate well to movies, so they changed things that worked well. But for the most part, the movie was really faithful to the book. I was worried, obviously, as this film does deal with cancer, that they would do it in a different way that the book handled it. The book didn't make the story about cancer. It's a very hilarious, like, it's a comedy book, and I was worried that that wouldn't portray well across during the movie and that they would kind of change the movie, but they didn't, and I really enjoyed that. I don't enjoy the book because it's about cancer and I didn't want it to be another cancer story, and I was worried that the movie would make it that, but it didn't. I kind of now want to get into spoilery parts and discuss certain parts of the movie and compare them to the book. So if you haven't seen the movie or read the book, I would recommend clicking off now and going to read the book and watch the movie because they're both fantastic. Okay, so now I'm going to discuss things. Greg kept mentioning in the film that Rachel wasn't going to die. Every time he mentioned it, I was like, no, you can't not kill off Rachel. Like, that's part of the story. Like, if a character dies, that character dies in all adaptations. That character is dead now. You better kill them off. And so I was really worried that they wouldn't kill off Rachel because Greg kept saying, oh, don't worry, she doesn't die. But they did kill her off. I don't really see why he did that though. Like, to me, it was kind of pointless in saying, don't worry, this character's not going to die. Was it to keep the humour? I'm not sure if I really liked that aspect of what they did there. Another thing was that they changed Rachel and how she died in the fact that she was dying while watching the film that Earl and Greg made for her, which was interesting. They kind of missed out on the part of the school assembly and everyone hating the film, and I kind of miss that. I would have liked to seen that portrayed because, you know, it's totally not what you expect. You expect the people to be like, wow, you made this film? That's fantastic, good on you. And people are like, nah, bro, that shit was fucking horrible. Like, that was a disgrace. My eyes are bleeding now. I really liked how the book didn't stick to what you would expect it to do, and the movie for the most part didn't too, but at the same time it was a little bit cliche, but I still enjoyed it. I thought it worked well for the movie. As I said, I went to go with my boyfriend to see this movie and he was expecting to hate it. He had cancer as a child and so he doesn't really like adaptations about cancer. I think that he doesn't think they're portrayed very well and he just is not a fan. He didn't want to go see another cancer film. I made him see The Fault in Our Stars, and whilst I think he enjoyed it, he wasn't the biggest fan. Like, he just generally doesn't like seeing that sort of stuff. But I convinced him to go see it with me and he enjoyed it. He's not really one to really laugh out loud in things unless they're really funny, and he and me were both laughing throughout the cinema. In fact, the whole cinema was. So if my boyfriend tends to like a movie, you can tell it's pretty good. Like, yes, the humour is a little bit out there, but the movie definitely toned it down from the book, so I think if you found the book to be a little bit offensive, you could still go see the movie. It's not as offensive as the book. The one thing that kind of bugged me about the film was a little bit of animation for out of it. The points where they did it, I felt like it was a bit out of place, and it kind of just put me off the storyline just a little bit. Like I was like a little bit thrown back every time it happened. But really, that was my only complaint. So overall, I really enjoyed Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. I thought it was a fantastic adaptation from the book, and I just thought it was done really well. I would rate it between an 8 and a 9 out of 10 stars. My boyfriend said he would rate it an 8 stars, or if we're talking about 5-star ratings, I would rate it between a 4 and a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I would highly recommend going to see the movie if you haven't already, or going to read the book if you haven't read the book yet, because I really enjoyed both and they're both my favourites at the minute, so go watch/read it. And like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more book related videos to me, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye!